Impala Platinum is the world's second largest platinum producer, with mines near Rustenberg, Steelpoort and the Great Dyke in Zimbabwe.
Now that is interesting. So of their various assets, they are a little bit more spread out, and in the past had a reputation for being a slightly more nimble operator, you could say, than Anglo-American Platinum, their larger competitor.
Market cap here, 37.3 billion rand, price to earnings ratio of 591.
Correct. So
That just
slender,
gives you
slender
perspective
profits in their last
on where
set
we
of
are.
results.
Currently does not pay any dividends. I think that says it all. The
At least
stats say it all.
It is, and at least it was a profit. I mean, okay, you asked earlier, I mean, is this the time value managers are picking up these companies? But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Impala was trying to sell the Marula mine recently. They were struggling to find a buyer for that. And you know, when you can't even sell off your assets, even at massive discounts, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult to see value. Other people aren't seeing value in the sector. It's difficult for portfolio managers to follow.
Look, Terence Goodlace has done a super job. They had advanced their capital development plans the most before the sort of crisis hit. So they are in a position to optimize their asset utilizations, to shut down certain older sections, to focus on those assets. Regrettably, the situation with Zimbabwe remains the same. Here we are 5 years later, after the last, you know, kind of great discussion about Zimbabwe and what might happen and whether it would have political
And everybody was
renewal.
expecting Zimbabwe to kick up. That story just has not come to
And
fruition.
instead, what the Zimbabweans have done is to introduce all sorts of absurd rules about
indigenization.
how that, and also the refining of platinum. They want now refining of platinum to happen inside of the country rather than the matte to be exported, which is crazy, because who on earth wants to go and invest hundreds of millions of US dollars, not Zim dollars, US dollars, in building a platinum refinery in a context like that, which has such great political uncertainty?
One of the key discussion points at the World Economic Forum last week was policy consistency. It doesn't matter how much money we get flowing into the continent if we don't have policy consistency in terms of deploying that money appropriately and investors being able to make safe investments, then we're dead in the water.
No, 100%. I think, you know, Impala really has tried. I mean, with their Mimosa operation in Zimbabwe and Zimplats, it's really given the best it can. But I mean, in such a changing regulatory framework environment, what can you do? You know, I mean, the one argument that you could potentially make, if you can, you know, almost get the mining rights to a section and hold on to them, that platinum does remain in the ground. You still have the ability to, you know, gain earnings later, further down the road. And I mean, that sort of feeds through if you do sort of discounted cash flow models of you know, based on reserves. I mean, you can see, you know, all of the fair values that you come up with are far above where the market price is trading. But the point is, the market for me is pricing these efficiently, and the operating environment is just too difficult to realize those sorts of gains.
Well, it's really
Let's have a look
quite...
at the share chart,
all right.
because that will
I don't want to
again...
get too depressed. I mean, but then again, that doesn't show a very pretty picture, does it?
So trading at around 60 rands a share now, and again, sagging badly. There's no real alternative to the existing market model, because, you know, even though they put new shaft 17, shaft 21 in that Rustenberg area, those are new generation shafts with all the latest switch gear and cooling systems and so on. But it is, after all, like I said before, still the old paradigm of mining. We don't expect the labour situation to get any easier. I will say, though, that if anyone is going to get it right, Terence Goodlace will be, because I suspect they will do the most, the quickest, in order to get their production costs in line. And therefore, of the various stocks, this is the one that I feel least negative about.
Hot or not, Gary?
Still can't go out. Just one point on the way that platinum mines. So the way that I analyst always describes it, it's almost like having a cake. You've got that upper layer and the middle layer, and you've got this little layer of icing in the middle. And that little seam there, that's how you mine platinum. It's incredibly difficult to mechanize that.
Cake doesn't taste good without lots of icing in the middle, at least,
yeah,
or jam or something.
Unfortunately, these mines are going to still have the rock drillers lying on their side in a gap, probably only that deep. It's not going to change. So for me, it's still a difficult operating environment.
Not hot, Paul?
Yeah, not hot for me either.
Not hot either, but this is the one you were least negative on.
Yeah.
Still not hot.